What's up, guys? Welcome to VHP Engines. This little video right here is going to be a little video simply because of the fact that there's not really too much that goes into it, but it has floated around in my brain and has popped up, and I have realized that this is something that you probably do think of. I mean, I've been asked a couple times, but not too much where it's been like super repetitive. Anyway, we're going to go over the ECU you should choose for your build. And we're just going to talk about, well, not so much the ECU itself, but which tuning software to go with. And the reason being for that is that I know that everybody tends to go with P28 chipped. Everybody likes the P28 because that's like your generic go-to VTEC for OBD1, I do believe. And I think there also is an OBD2 P28 that came out of the Del Sol. So anyway, the actual ECU itself, as long as it's manual, and I think the auto might not even make much difference. Anyway, if you do have an auto computer in your manual car, it just throws a check engine light for auto computer. It'll say that. But anyway, when you're gonna tune, you're gonna chip, or you're gonna add the Honda or whatever. It takes away your basic drawbacks of a non-VTEC. You can use a non-VTEC ECU, chip it, and then you'll have VTEC that comes with the programming of the chip. So the three types of tuning software that are the most popular is Chrome, Neptune, and Honda. Now, the Chrome is the one I've used myself personally, and I've also used Honda. But at the time, me using Honda was kind of an overkill on what I was doing with my build. It was boost. It was kind of high horsepower, but it was still kind of basic. There wasn't really a lot of shit to it. You know, I didn't really use the perks of having the Honda. Now, I'm not a fucking tuner, and maybe one day I'd like to be able to tune, but right now I'm not a tuner. So this hasn't been something that I can tell you the exact details in between the computer. I'm just going to tell you what I've heard from people who do tune. Chrome, I've been told, has a little choppier idle. It doesn't have as many options as the Honda. But it's, a lot of people fuck with Chrome on tuning, so Chrome has been a go-to, will be the go-to, chip that I would recommend for people who are doing a budget build. Generally speaking, you can buy a chip that already chipped ECU for $80, or you can, if you have an ECU to give to a guy who does the chipping, they'll usually install for $50 and put a base map based off what your parts that you tell them that you have. And the base map should allow you to get to the dyno. And remember that your base map isn't meant for you to be running around the fucking streets like an idiot with. It's just to get you from point A to point dyno. That's it. That's it. All right. Before my car got stolen, I spent months running around chasing my tail in circles with a vacuum leak and all this bullshit I kept throwing a code for. The car wouldn't stay on. Turns out that I had a corrupted chip. The tuner reprogrammed the chip and all that shit, and the car was able to run. But even then, he still had to get in it and program it while he was sitting in the car just to get the idle to stay normal and not shut off on me. So definitely don't cruise around your base map. All right, just go to the tuner. All right. So there's Chrome that you can get for pretty cheap. Neptune, generally speaking, is also the same price from what I remember. But Neptune is supposed to be like the go-to cheap brand. Like, from what I hear, it has better idling capabilities than Chrome does, and I think it has a couple more perks into the tuning software that Chrome doesn't have also. But again, then you'll come to the amount of people who fuck with Neptune, and you might find it a little bit harder to find somebody who actually tunes with that. So you might have to go with Chrome or Honda. And then, of course, the last one being Honda. Once again, I can't tell you all the perks to come with it, but the tuning for Honda is supposed to be the easiest. It also has the best controllability, and it has a two-step in it and all that shit. The launch, I think the other one has two-step. What I meant is it has boost by gear, and if you're doing a really big horsepower build, then Honda would be the way to go because boost by gear, it does wonders for hooking up in the street. So yeah, I'd recommend if you're going for like a 400 or less build and you're looking for a budget setup, grab a Chrome or Neptune. If you're gonna go big juice race car and you really want to be able to milk everything out of the car that you have and you want to go with, or you're just going higher horsepower, then Honda would be the way to go. Other than that, guys, so Chrome if you're going cheap, Honda if you want to go pro style. Other than that, there's not really much to it. If you found the video helpful at all, insightful, please leave a like below. Also, check out the other videos I have on the channel. You might find a whole bunch of other stuff, that you might enjoy and like. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.